right, y'all. Bet you can't guess what this is about to make. It is, let me give you a hint. It is a comfort food. It's good for the winter time. And it's absolutely delicious. All right, just in case you ain't figured it out, it is bacon and potato soup, or potato soup with bacon. So this is going to be my next delectable meal for the 12 days of Christmas. For the 11 Pipers piping. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in and being patient with me. So right now I'm about to start preparing the pureeing of some of my potatoes for my potato and bacon soup. And in that water is some French onion dip and a little bit of water, some spring water. And then I'm going to take some of these potatoes here, and then I'm going to place them in here also. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I need to puree some of the potatoes so that it will provide a thicker stock or thicker soup for the actual soup itself. So yeah, and I really want to throw some onions off in here too. And a little bit of the celery. And a little bit of the celery. And I'll be right back with you to show you what this looks like when I'm done. And then I'm going to start cooking down my potatoes, well, my seasonings, my onion, my garlic, my celery. That way I can start creating the soup. So hang on tight and stick in there with me, and I'll be right back. All right, thanks you guys for coming back. I'm about to put together my ingredients for my potato soup. I'm going to start off with a little bit of the fat from the bacon that I cooked. And I'm going to add to that about a tablespoon of butter. Turn my fire on like medium high, between 4 and 5 on I have a gas stove. Just let that cook down. And then I'm gonna add in my celery. So this is maybe like 1/8 of a cup of celery. You don't need much. I'm just using it as a flavor enhancer. And then I'll throw in my garlic. So that's maybe a couple of tablespoons of garlic, or like 5 or 6 cloves of garlic. And then my onion. So this is more. So this is maybe like a 1/2 cup of onion that I'm also going to be placing in here. One moment. All right, so now that I have, let me see if I can turn this over a little bit more. So if you can see into this pot, you can see that I am sauteing down my onion, my garlic, and my celery. I'm going to let that do its thing. And then I'm also Now, when this comes to a nice brown color, oh, and let me add in my white pepper. Oops, my white pepper. My onion powder. It's healthy amount of onion powder. I like onion powder and garlic powder. I'm gonna let that cook down, and then I'm also to this, I'm gonna add a pinch of rosemary. And just kind of let it do its thing. And another thing is when you're cooking, you know, your vegetables, like in a soup or anything, doesn't have to be perfect. You know, nothing has to be absolute perfection or the perfect cut or anything like that. Just as long as you make it taste good, you know. That's the thing about cooking, is putting your whole heart into it. Because to me, and this is what I've seen through just in my own cooking, some of the ugliest dishes turn out to be some of the most spectacular and some of the most best tasting dishes you've ever had in your life. So, just saying. And then what I'm also going to do now at this particular stage is add my potatoes. And this is about, this is like, so when it comes to that, your potatoes, you want to do about 6 to 8 large potatoes. And I'm just going to let them sit and mellow in with all of the spices and then the seasonings and everything. I'm going to cover that up for a couple of moments and I'll be back. And I want to let this cook down for about 3 to 5 minutes. And then I'll come back, give it a good toss, and then I'll start adding in my chicken stock and my the rest of my ingredients to cook everything down. My sour cream, my heavy whipping cream, and you want your pureed potatoes also, which gives it a nice thickener to your soup. And stay tuned. I'm going to add my flour as a thickener. My potatoes are cooking down. And now I'm also going to add my chicken stock. And I want all that seasoning. Chicken stock, my puree. Not sure if y'all can see this, but this is my puree. And this is potatoes, onion, garlic, pepper, and salt. And I took about maybe the equivalent of a whole potato. Oops. Of a whole potato. And I just pureed it. And it adds as my thickener. Okay, and to this, I'm going to add my heavy whipping cream. Oops. So this is roughly 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. And now comes our sour cream. actually, before I do that, this is some sharp smoked sharp cheddar cheese. So I'm going to add a total of like a half a cup of that. And right now your fire is not going to be super high. You're going to have it on a medium to low heat. Excuse me. I'm going to add a little bit of liquid smoke. Our sour cream, and your total sour cream will be a half a cup of sour cream. And that's about what's left in here. Okay. And give all of that a good stir. Smells really nice. Oh, I almost forgot. Let's see, where did I put it? This is my French onion dip. This is kind of my own little addition to this particular recipe. Just going to give it a heartier and creamier texture. Add the rest of our flour. I thought I put all of it in there. I guess I didn't. And you're just going to let this thicken up. Oh, and I completely forgot. So you want, this is about 3/4 of a cup total of green onion. And so you're going to just sprinkle about a little bit of that in there because you want to save some of it for your garnish later. And let's turn our fire up just a tiny bit because mine was a little too low, because you want to bring this to a boil. Let everything meld on in there together. And then once it comes to a boil, a nice hearty boil, then I'm going to add my bacon. Because I want the bacon to have a really full flavor. And I want it to cook in, but I don't want to put it in too soon. Because I want a little bit of a crisp to it still. All right, so stay tuned. And oh, I almost forgot, salt. You'll definitely need salt. So about a tablespoon of salt. And I know that might not sound like a lot, but it's not. Not in this particular dish. This is a pretty large pot. And the only other seasoning in here is onion powder and garlic powder. And salt just enhances the flavor of everything. All right, y'all, so stay tuned. I'll be back in like 10 minutes so I can check on my soup. All right, thank you for staying tuned and being patient with me. So I have been letting this cook for about 10 minutes now. And now it's come to a nice hearty boil. It looks so good. And it smells really good too. So now what I would like to do is add my bacon. And I'm going to add a little bit of smoked paprika as well. Let me get my bacon together. I still have it on my board. So here's my bacon. About total of, it's totally up to you. It's totally under your, under your own discretion. That's my smoked paprika for color and for flavor. So I'm going to let this sit, and I'm going to let this boil for another 10 minutes until my potatoes get tender. And if it's not tender enough at that point, then I'll just let it boil longer. But we're going to check on it in about 10 more minutes to see where we're at. Ooh-wee, look at that. So this is 15 minutes in, and my soup is cooking down. And I have it on a low temperature right now. It's at like 2 or 3 because I want all of my flavors to just really just kick on in and meld together. Doesn't that look good? I'm gonna get a spoon. A ladle, rather. 1 second. So look at this. Doesn't that look good? Good hearty potato soup with bacon in it. All right, I'm gonna let this cook for about another 5 minutes or so. And then I'm gonna plate it up, or put it in a bowl rather, and let you know what this old delicious bacon soup tastes like.